Demigods! Your mom's a god, your dad's Joe Schmo from down the street.
What does that make you?
Way better than your dad, but not quite as good as your mom.
There were a handful of people just like that walking around in ancient tales and myths.
I'm Adam Andrews, he's Big Ched.
And today on Bumblebee, we're talking about the top 10 powerful demigods in ancient history.
Wow.
Whoa.
Number 10, Minos. Minos is a rather tragic demigod, the son of the ever-promiscuous Zeus and the Phoenician princess Europa. Minos ascended to the throne of the Greek island of Crete, where he would kinda struggle with his brother for power. In the legend, he prays to Zeus for a white bull as a sign of Zeus's approval of him being the ruler of Crete. Zeus sends him the bull with the intention of it being used in a sacrifice. But instead, Minos just finds the bull way too beautiful to take its life. Does he fall in love with the bull? No. He just thinks it's quite nice to look at. But the same could not be said for his lady. As punishment for not sacrificing the bull, Aphrodite makes Pasiphae, his wife, fall super madly in love with the beast and, well, her and the bull make a little baby. A little baby with a man's body and a bull's head. The Minotaur. They make the Minotaur. More tragic than powerful, but he was a king, so look, I just wanted to tell the story, okay?
Number 9, Hercules. Hercules. He's probably the first demigod that comes to mind when thinking of demigods. Known for his massive strength and his adventures, he's the classic hero who the previous generation knows because of a very successful Disney movie, and Danny DeVito. Everybody loves Danny DeVito. God bless that man. The son of an almighty powerful god Zeus, not Danny DeVito, Hercules, sometimes he's the father of Romulus and Remus. If vanilla ice cream was a myth, Hercules would be that. Because it's standard for everyone to know him and his 12 labors. Not because he's a delicious summertime treat that's both sweet and refreshing.
Number 8, Chulainn. We're going on a trip down Cuckoo Lane. Just kidding. It was a bad joke. Chulainn is actually a very well-known, powerful Irish mythological demigod. Son of the god Lugh, the Irish Achilles was the greatest warrior in Ireland, who was known to go into crazed battle rages called rastrad, which could be translated as warp spasms, where he would become almost beast-like and no one was safe. Speaking of beasts, Chulainn is actually a nickname given to the hero meaning Hound of Chulainn, or Chulainn, or however you pronounce it, after he de-lifed Chulainn's guard dog and swore to act as his replacement guard dog until he found a replacement. That's a lot of replacing, which is quite noble of him. His real name was Sactana, which means one who has knowledge of roads and ways, which isn't really the kind of name that makes you think greatest warrior. He rode a chariot into battle, used a slingshot and possibly a spear-like thing, had a profound effect on women, and he was bound by magical taboos that he must always accept food any woman offers to him, and he must never eat the meat of a dog. Surprise, the two intersect to bring his downfall, because of course they do.
Number 7, Perseus. Before there was Hercules, there was Perseus. This is actually one of my favorite stories from Greek mythology. Basically, Perseus was the slayer of beasts. He was tasked with slaying the evil Gorgon Medusa, and in case you didn't know, that was the lady with snakes for hair, as she could also turn a man to stone with one evil gaze. No thank you. Perseus makes a big brain move. He acquires a mirror shield, not exactly like the one from Legend of Zelda, but close enough that I'm gonna make the pop culture reference. Sadly, he used the shield to sneak up on her and remove her sneaky head from her human body. I like to think it was closer to Zelda where you're like reflecting fire and ice back with the witch ladies, but regardless, he was successful in his endeavors and he gifted the head to Athena, where it was then turned into a more powerful shield. Lots of shield trading going on. I like that, it's nice.
Number 6, Gilgamesh. The 5th king of the ancient Sumerian city of Uruk. Gilgamesh reigned around 2500 BC for, according to the Sumerian list of kings, 126 years. Which may surprise you when I tell you it is not common among the ancient people of Mesopotamia, assuming it's true. In Mesopotamian legend, he is said to be a demigod composed of 2 parts god, 1 part man, just like grandma's favorite cookies. Unlike her cookies, he had super strength that he used to create the walls of Uruk. In the myth, he goes off to seek Utnapishtim, who I'm just going to refer to as Tim. He seeks Tim in order to find the secret to eternal life. Tim turns out to just be a dude and doesn't actually have the secret because, hate to break it to you buddy, we all meet our ends eventually. And now I'm getting philosophical, let's move on. Okay.
Number 5, Maui. Another one made famous by a Disney movie, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say we don't see enough of Polynesian culture. It's really cool to me. We should see more of it. Anyway, Maui, the big bad demigod played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is something I didn't know about before Moana. Solid movie. Maui is described as being the trickster, similar to Loki. It's said he also possesses a big fishing hook called Manai Kalani. It's close enough. It's also said that during a fishing trip with his brothers, after some trickery and pulling with the hook, he created the Hawaiian Islands. The best I ever did when fishing was drink too many beers and lose worms on hooks. I'm not a very good fisherman.
Number 4. Sleipnir. Not every demigod had to be part human, and Sleipnir is one of those few that aren't. Sleipnir is actually a horse, and not just any horse. He is the 8-legged son of Loki, who turned into a mare and was impregnated by a stallion. And he is the mythical steed to Odin. Best of all horses, just as Odin is the best of all Aesir, he always appears at the top of any list of the gods' horses, and he allows his rider to travel all over the 9 realms and even the realm of the dead, which is part of the reason for his name, which means sliding one. He wasn't just ridden by Odin. The brother of Balder, Hermuder, also rode Sleipnir to the realm of Hell and back safely. Sleipnir's final ride is to carry Odin to the battlefield of Vigrid at Ragnarok, where they are both felled. Then Sleipnir carries Odin to the afterlife. What a good horse. The best horse, some could say.
Number 3, Achilles. Okay, I promise no more movie references this time. Just straight up Achilles and some Greek dudes duking it out. Achilles was the greatest of all warriors during the Trojan War and vanquished Hector outside the city gates. It was said that he was invincible except for his heel, after his mother dipped him in the river Styx to grant him invulnerability. During the end of the war, an arrow to the heel was enough to end poor Achilles, hence the common expression Achilles' heel. A small weakness in a rather strong thing, like the Death Star's porthole, Voldemort's Horcruxes, or Superman's kryptonite. Now, because I haven't asked in a while, what is your Achilles heel? Let us know in the comments below, I'm curious. Mine's McDonald's, just saying. Just this.
Number 2. Romulus and Remus. How does the power of founding one of the world's best known and most powerful historical empires sound? Romulus and Remus were twin demigods and the supposed founders of the city of Rome in Italy. They started it all, but the question of who started them is a bit more ambiguous. We know their mother was Rhea Silvia, who was a direct descendant of Aeneas, a Trojan prince and son of Venus, or Aphrodite. But their father, in some myths, has been the god Mars, or Ares, and in other myths, it was that guy Hercules. Either way, Rhea Silvia was a Vestal virgin, and as such, she had to be punished for breaking her vow of celibacy, even if it was not her fault even in the slightest. Luckily, she was imprisoned instead to avoid the wrath of the gods, and her sons were ordered to be put into the wilds or thrown into the Tiber River. The servant carrying out the sentence takes pity on them and puts them in a basket in the Tiber River instead. Yeah, way better. After drinking some she-wolf milk, becoming shepherds, fighting a king, and then fighting over where their new city should be founded, Romulus came out on top with his brother meeting the afterlife after mocking the city walls Romulus had created. And it just gets wilder from there, but I've already been talking too much, so...
Number 1, Imhotep, the one who comes in peace. Before I start, usually when someone says they're gonna come in peace, it really means they're here to upset the apple cart. Hernan Cortez, Christopher Columbus, and Buzz Lightyear, they all said they came in peace, but Woody, that was Andy's toy, Buzz. You ruined everything. All jokes aside, Imhotep is pretty cool because, well, he may be the only dude on this list that maybe actually existed. Pharaohs were seen as gods, or at least the next god, or something like that. Well, this demigod is credited for his first design of the Egyptian pyramids, which is pretty important for ancient Egypt. It's kind of like their identity. This guy is kind of like the Johnny Sins of Egypt. He was a pharaoh, an architect, and apparently also the top doctor of the time. No wonder he was treated like a god. The man could build you a tomb, heal you, and rule over you at the same time. Pretty sick. That's gonna wrap it up for today, folks. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here at Bumblebee.
And if you too want to be demigods, then check out our socials down below.
That's right. I've been one of your hosts, Big Chetty.
I've been your other host, Adam Andrews. Toodles. His real name was, man, it sucks because like every time there's a little accent on one of the things, it gets all messed up.
Speaking of philosophical.
No.
Oh no!
The brother of Balder, Hermuder, I'm pretty sure that's not how it's pronounced. Andrew, help. How would you pronounce this? Hermuder. Right at the top there, second down, right after Balder.
Hermuder.
Hermiter.
Hermiter.
Hermiter. Okay.